Sage Dynamics, and this is the Agency Arms 119 comp for the 509. Two things I'm a big fan of: the FN 509 and compensators. And now I have a compensator from Agency Arms. It's purpose built for the 509 and the 509T handgun. I've been a big fan of this handgun since it came out when the actual 509 offering, and even more so with the 509T, which is their optics ready platform, and in my personal opinion, the best OEM optics platform out there. If it's coming straight from a manufacturer, it doesn't get any better than the 509. But I like comping things. I like comping 9mm because I don't like recoil. And even though 9mm doesn't have as much recoil, recoil still exists, and compensators help with the mitigation, getting my muzzle back. The energy's still going to be there, but it's redirected. And does the 509T comp from Agency Arm, the 119 compensator, do that pretty well? Yeah, it does. It's a 2-chamber comp, which will thread onto the, if you buy the 509T, which comes with a threaded barrel, it actually works very, very well. You don't have any shoulder issues extending into one of your expansion chambers. It also comes with your 2 set screws, depending on how you're going to mount it, as far as if you're going to use a thread lock or not, which I would highly recommend. Currently using the rock set, which it does come with a thread locker as well, but if you want something a little more, if you already found something a little more robust, it's going to last for a higher round count, because they all give up eventually in my experience, and I've pretty much tried everything at this point that I'm aware of. It's something that's good, but it's a 2-chamber comp, 2 expansion chamber comp. Doesn't have the side ports because you really don't need them. You want the gases going up, not necessarily so much out. Again, this isn't a review because Agency Arms is a sponsor of mine, so I can't actually review the product. It'd be kind of a conflict of interest. But I did run it extensively, and I was happy to find that it eats anything I fed the gun, even if the ammunition isn't necessarily best for compensators. But I shot 115, 124, but I also shot some of the hot stuff, 124 plus P, which is generally considered the best ammunition for compensators. Not really my opinion, but it's a popular opinion. It's out there. And some 147 gold dot, and then the G2 147. Found the comp works well, works as well as it's supposed to work. It compensates the gun very, very well. It gets me my dot back quickly, and the muzzle rise is more manageable than if I was firing it uncompensated, which is exactly what we want. Now, I like the 119 comp because it doesn't bring the gun's length to a ridiculous length, even though it's a 2-chamber compensator. I would like to see it be a little bit shorter, but you work with what you got. I think they did a really good job on the design. It follows the lines of the 509 very well, which may or may not be a thing for you, but aesthetics ultimately are something we want in guns, and it contours to the nose of the 509, which adds as an additional timing area for the comp to the gun. So I like that as well. If your set screws happen to loosen up, the thread locker happens to give up, it's still going to time very, very well to the gun, because the comp itself kind of folds around the outside of the slide, which is a cool feature aesthetically and functionally. As far as performance goes, like I said, it comps the gun really, really well. It doesn't allow for needless muzzle rise. It definitely provides a performance and recoil mitigation over firing it uncompensated, and it redirects gases in a way that it's very comfortable to shoot in low light or under night vision. I fired it in both conditions just to see if the muzzle flash was going to be redirected in a way that was going to be bad for the shooter, and of course it wasn't. And I do shoot handguns quite a bit, red dot handguns anyway, quite a bit under night vision, so the muzzle signature is definitely a consideration that I have, and I do a lot of low light shooting as well. Now, using a weapon light under low light, you're generally not going to notice your muzzle flash unless you just have some atrociously hot ammunition through your gun. But your general self-defense ammunition, such as like gold dot, they have a lower flash powder than what you might find from your traditional reloaded or whatever range ammo you happen to shoot. Generally, in my experience, what I found is muzzle signatures are much more pronounced on practice ammunition than they are in self-defense ammunition. But either way, the 119 comp, no issues. Holsters already exist. They're going to accommodate the comp on the 509, 509T. The Filster Floodlight is my favorite holster for the 509 series of handguns. And what I found using the Compensator, didn't notice a difference. It's going to accommodate it very, very well. You're not going to have any biting or catching or clawing issues, I should say, on that holster, because it indexes to the light, not the actual grip, or I should say the slide and or frame of the gun. So it accommodates the Compensator very well. So if you wanted a Compensator for your 509, especially if you have an agency, a 509 that agency's done it for you, the 119 comp is very well positioned to be, well, not only effective, but following the general lines of the 509 for that aesthetic feel that you might want. I'm Eric Allen with Sage Dynamics. Train accordingly.